Hello everyone, welcome to Anybest YouTube channel. My name is Eno Johnson. Today I want to talk about tomato farming business. How you can earn millions in tomato farming. Please, if you are yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, kindly do so and also give a like to this video. Thank you. Tomatoes is a kind of vegetable that is widely eaten all over the globe. There is a high rate of consumption of this vegetable now due to the health benefits attached and the health benefits attached to it. It has in a way given rise to tomato farming business in Nigeria. The amazing thing is that the number of young people diving into these business opportunities is quite high and very encouraging. Tomato is mainly used for sauce, stew, paste, salad, and also eaten as fruits. Tomato farming in Nigeria is very lucrative because of the high rate of consumption and demand on it. Have you ever witnessed the number of tomato trucks that are loaded and that comes if you're a southerner, the number of trucks that comes to the south from north? There are many, yet it seems not to be enough. So far, the northern part of Nigeria are the highest producers of tomatoes. But in essence, it can be planted anywhere in the country. But we have relegated it to the north. Whereas the south, it will do well in the south too. Especially now that we have hybrid seeds that can be planted anywhere in Nigeria. To be a successful tomato farmer, there are steps to take. You don't just even jump into it. Before you jump into any business, especially this kind of business, you need to know what it takes. Tomatoes farming, and you have to consider the variety, but first you have to prepare the land that you need to use for the farming. In doing so, you have to kill the pests. There's what we call solarization and also sterilization of the soil. So you clear the land and then you do ridges. Use fungicide, insecticide, and to ward off insect invasion. If you have listened to my or you've watched my video on pepper farming, I did say that when you want to go into pepper farming, check out the diseases that affect the crops, similar crops like tomato. I mentioned that. So you also have to do that. Check other crops like pepper to find out, like garden egg, because the same thing that affects pepper affects garden egg, affects tomatoes, and they are mostly being attacked by insects. So after clearing your land, solarize the land by cooking the soil. That is where what we call bush burning is encouraged here. Some people say we don't encourage bush burning, but there in crops like this, like tomato, it can be encouraged. This is to kill any nematode eggs in the soil. Or you do solarization. Solarization is when, after clearing the land, you allow the land to receive enough sunlight for some weeks, even up to a month. This will help in eliminating daring pests before planting. So you have to do your clearing early, not when it starts raining before you clear your land. You can clear it down when the sun is still shining very well. Maybe like in February, you can clear your land in February, so in preparation for March. Varieties of tomato to plant. It's not every tomato you go into. Check out which of the varieties well loved in your environment and go in for that. I will advise you go for hybrid seeds. This is because they are resistant to pests and they can do very well. They can do very, very well, produce much fruit. We have determinant tomatoes. This is bush type. They can grow from 2 to 3 feet tall. Bud from flower instead of leaves. The flowers ripen and they die at once. We have indeterminate tomato. This type requires staking because they continue in growth and fruiting for a long time before dying. So check the variety that you want to plant and then follow suit. How to plant tomatoes. You can plant directly, but it might not yield as much as the one that is planted on the bed. Raise the bed 1 meter by 1 meter and broadcast your seeds evenly. Cover lightly with sand and mulch with compost. You can use palm fronds to cover them. Use mosquito nets to cover the nursery against insects. Transfer them to cups or nursery nylon after 14 days of germination. Tomatoes start sprouting 3 to 4 days after planting. The seeds start spreading out after 10 days. Transplant tomato seedling at night when the weather is cool in order to avoid the harshness of the weather. You can plant into seedling trays container 2 to 3 seeds in a hole. They should be transplanted into the main field from 2 to 3 weeks of germination. Transplanting early reduces shock while allowing for faster establishment of the tomato plant in the main field. The row should be 3 feet and 1.5 to 2 feet between plants. Tomatoes can also be transplanted when they are 3 to 4 inches tall or at least have true leaves. Plant them deep into the soil to help root penetration, which will encourage the quick establishment of the plant. There are so many varieties of plants, just as I have said, but I would rather advise you go for the hybrid variety for commercial purpose. You can delay transplanting if the rains are too much, because tomato does not like too much water. So that is why planting it in a greenhouse or hydrophobic planting is encouraged, very, very encouraged in tomato farming. Another method you can use in planting tomato is sack, planting them in sack. Tomatoes flourish very well in sack. This is because of the benefit that follows. Sack farming, this is the benefit. Now in sack farming, there's water retention, there's weed control, and for you to even plant with sack, you have to mix equal amounts of animal dung and sand together. Then you plant. You will be amazed of the results you will have. It will be a bountiful harvest. If you plant your tomato during dry season, you certainly have to irrigate it. But if it is rainy season and then there's a drought, you have to irrigate it. Use organic fertilizer to apply organic fertilizer to the farm, and then avoid using nitrogen, maybe poultry dung when it is close to fruiting, so that you won't just have beautiful plants and that does not produce fruit. Tomatoes are heavy feeders, just like any other vegetables such as garden, carrots, etc. So manure should be applied from time to time after transplanting, during root establishment, after fruiting, and during first harvest. Yes, remove weeds. Of course, weeds will not allow it to do well. Mulching is always encouraged, especially when they are still very young, in order for them to retain moisture. Tomatoes need adequate amount of sunlight for good fruiting and formation, so expose your tomato farm to sunlight. Pests and diseases control. Yes, it is difficult for vegetables to recover when already infested with disease. So in tomato farming, prevention is better than cure. In order to prevent the plant from being attacked early by insects and pests, treat the nursery bed with insecticides before planting the seed. The common disease are damping off caused by Phytium species. So there are other common pests like that, like aphid, white flies, etc. We have another one, leaf roll. Causes of leaf roll, it could be because of stress from watering. Either it is too much or there's shortage of water. Also due to too much nitrogen in the soil. That's why I say don't use too much of poultry dung, especially when it is close to fruiting. You have another one, flower stroke fruit shading. They'll just be falling. This is due to stress, insufficient or imbalanced irrigation, pest damage, insufficient trace element. If your plant is resistant to insecticides, you can keep on trying different methods because they sometimes behave this way. You just be applying insecticide and yet it's not working. Try and then you will discover the one that can kill them, can destroy them. Okay, now let's talk about harvesting so that this video won't be too long. Harvesting. Tomatoes duration is 3 months from nursery to harvesting. That is between 60 to 70 days. Tomatoes can be harvested for more than 3 months under good condition and 6 months in greenhouse. Just as it is done with pepper, stake your tomato. Plant early at 6 weeks so as to support their weight during fruiting. You have to stake them maybe during when they are 6 weeks. You stake them. Tomato is plucked from its parent plant by the use of hand. Remove the vegetable when it shows ripeness, but can still remove them unripe, provided you know that they are strong. They have matured. Tomato continue ripeness after harvesting. After the first harvest, other subsequent harvests can be done every 3 days till the plant dies off. So you see, it's almost like pepper that you keep harvesting, keep plugging the fruits until they die off. So you can actually earn in millions for a hectare. A hectare, you can get about 10 tons, between 5 to 10 tons a hectare. So you can imagine a basket of tomatoes. How much is it? So in fact, this basket that they use in package refuse, this what do they call it? Basket for refuge that we put dirty things. How much? It's 7,000 now. In fact, some places 8,000. Okay, so you can imagine a basket now. That means you can even buy a basket 50,000. You have 10 tons. That if let's assume you spent 1 million all through, you can hire a place, a land. You just use the land for planting and you leave it. So you can use 1 million all for the whole thing, getting the land in preparation and everything. You spend 1 million, you can make 5 million as profit. That's how profitable tomato is, and I encourage anybody that wants to go into this business to please do so. Thank you very much for staying glued to Anybest YouTube channel. Bye for now.